Welcome to Voc Rehab Bootcamp. I'm Nick the Vet. All right, this video is on the 5 things you need to know before you step foot into your first meeting with your counselor. And the reason I'm telling you these definitions is because a lot of times what the counselors will do is use these words as though they have a Webster's definition when they really have a VA definition. And you will go in there thinking of the Webster's definition, and with the Webster's definition, you won't be entitled. But with the VA definition, you will be entitled. So the first one is EH. Anybody that's been looking at my videos should know by now what an EH is, but it's an employment handicap, and it basically means that your service-connected disabilities keep you from being able to do your job successfully or maintain a job or get a job, basically. But you can look up the full definition below. And then there's a serious employment handicap that is made up of 9 different points that you have to meet. It is not the same as being seriously handicapped. It is not the same as having a severe handicap. A serious employment handicap is, again, 9 points that you have to meet. That means you have a hindrance to your employability and you are past the 12-year mark for since getting your SED rating. So you need to know what an EH is and what an SEH is so they can't trick you and tell you that you don't have one. The third thing that you need to know is suitable. Now, the Webster's definition of suitable, I'm sure you know what it is. But the VA definition of suitable, it's very important to know because they'll use terminology like, well, you have a job, so you don't need to have services with us. You need to be able to come back and say, yes, but I don't have suitable employment, which is required based on M28R Part 4, Section B, Chapter 2, pages 2-11 and 2-12. Suitable employment is employment that is consistent with your expressed interest, aptitudes, and abilities and can be measured or determined. It does not exacerbate your service-connected disabilities. It is stable and continuing and requires reasonably developed skills. So what that means is if you go in and they say, well, you already have a job, so we're not going to give you Voc Rehab services. You say, yeah, but it's not suitable because it exacerbates my SEDs, because I'm not interested in it, because anybody can do it. It doesn't require any kind of developed skills to do it. And even without that last option, really the fact that it exacerbates your SEDs is primary. So again, that's EH, SCH, suitable. The next one is overcome. They won't tell you the definition of overcome. I asked them about 7 different times what it meant, and they pretended they didn't know. But when they say you've overcome your hindrance to employability through your education and training, that's the one that they try to use for people who have bachelor's or master's degrees or even associate's degrees. But overcome has a specific definition, and it is: an individual may overcome the effects of the impairment of employability through employment in or qualifying for employment in an occupation consistent with his or her abilities and interests. Now that's the portion that they try to stick on you. You've overcome it because you have a job that you can do. That's what they say. But the last part of that definition is the one that you need to be aware of. This situation includes an individual who qualifies for a suitable job, but who does not obtain or maintain the job for reasons not within his or her control. So what that means is, doesn't matter if you have a degree, if you're in a job that you cannot maintain, or you don't have a job and you cannot obtain a job due to no fault of your own, which means I'm going to my interviews, I'm dressing professionally, I'm speaking professionally, I've got a good resume, I just can't seem to get a job. That means you have not overcome the vocational impairment, therefore you do have an employment handicap. So when they try to say, oh, you've overcome it because you have a degree, you come back with this definition of overcome. Based on the definition, I have not overcome it. So make sure you know that. So again, employment handicap, serious employment handicap, suitable, overcome, and the last one is a vocational impairment. That is the easiest thing to get qualified, because all it really basically means is that your service-connected disabilities are causing you a problem. So if you have that, that is a vocational impairment, and usually they have no problem saying you have that. What they will have a problem with is saying you have an employment handicap, because that's the trigger that will get you the benefit. So a vocational impairment is defined in the M28R Chapter 2 as the restrictions on employability that are caused by your SED. So it's very simple. They usually, like I said, have no problem saying you have that. It's the next phase that they have a problem with. So know those things so that way when the counselor tries to say you don't have it or you do have it, you can come back and counter and get your entitlement. All this is about education and understanding. None of this is secret. None of this is confusing. EH and SCH is the key. And as you understand what you have and you're able to communicate it, verbalize it, you should be able to defend it and get your entitlement. That's the whole goal. Hope that all made sense. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick the Vet.